more multiplying binomials, and this time we're going to throw in some trinomials into the mix. So, as long as you think of this as distributing, then this isn't so bad. So this is just review. I'm multiplying two binomials together because they both have two parts, 1, 2, 1, 2. So these are technically called binomials, but just think of it as distributing. It's just I have two things to distribute. So first I'm going to distribute the 9p with both things in the second set of parentheses. This is like what we practiced the other day. So 9p times 3p is 27p squared. 9p times negative 2 makes a negative 18p. And then I still need to distribute the negative 1. So I'm going to distribute it with both things in the back set of parentheses. So negative 1 times 3p makes negative 3p. And negative 1 times negative 2 makes a positive 2. At this point, I look to see if I have any like terms that I can add or subtract. I sure do. Those are like terms. So the 27p squared just drops down. What do you get if you combine a negative 18p and a negative 3p? A negative 21p, and then the positive 2 comes on down. And that's our answer. That's as simple as it gets. I can't add or subtract any of these together because none of them are like terms. They have to be same variable, same exponent in order to add or subtract. Okay, number 2 is going to be just like that, except for this is a binomial and this is a trinomial. But if you think of it as distributing, it's all the same. So first I'm going to distribute the 4x with everything in the back set of parentheses. So what's 4x times 2x squared? 8x cubed. Remember, when you multiply the same letter, you add exponents. What's 4x times a negative 5x? A negative 20x squared. What's 4x times a positive 3? A positive 12x. Okay, so now I just need to distribute the second number with everything in the second set of parentheses. So it's just double distributing. I have two things to distribute, and I distribute it with everything in the back set of parentheses. So what's 9 times 2x squared? A positive 18x squared. What's a positive 9 times a negative 5x? A negative 45x. What's a positive 9 times a positive 3? A positive 27. At this point, I want to combine like terms. Do you see any other x cubed besides this one? Nope, so just drop it down. Now let's look for x squareds. Here's an x squared and here's an x squared. What do you get if you combine a negative 20x squared and a positive 18x squared? A negative 2x squared. Okay, now I want to look for just x's. So here's an x and here's an x. What do you get if you combine a positive 12 and a negative 45? A negative 33x. And then there's no other constant besides this plus 27, so I just bring the positive 27 on down, and that's our answer. So all this is distributing. It's just I have two things to distribute, and I have to distribute it with everything in the back set of parentheses. Okay, number 3 is going to be just like this. I have two things in the front set of parentheses, so I have two things to distribute. So first, let's distribute the 3x. So here we go. How much is 3x times 2x squared? 6x cubed, because we're adding exponents. How much is 3x times 7x? 21x squared. How much is 3x times negative 8? Negative 24x. Don't be shy to answer me. I hope you're answering out loud. Now let's distribute the negative 5 with everything in the back set of parentheses. So how much is negative 5 times 2x squared? A negative 10x squared. How much is negative 5 times a positive 7x? A negative 35x. And how much is a negative 5 times a negative 8? A positive 40. Okay, we're done multiplying. Now it's all about just adding and subtracting like terms. So do you see any other x cubes besides this one? Nope, drop it on down. Now let's look for x squareds. Here's an x squared and here's an x squared. What do you get if you combine a positive 21 and a negative 10? A positive 11x squared. Now let's look for x's. So here's an x and here's an x. What do you get if you combine a negative 24 and a negative 35? A negative 59x. And then there's no other constant besides that positive 40, so we just drop it on down. And there it is. Okay, let's flip to the back side. This isn't so bad. Okay, here we go. This time I have 3 things to distribute. No big deal. Let's start off by distributing the first thing with everything in the back set of parentheses. How much is 3k squared times 2k squared? 6k to the 4th. 3 times 2 is 6, and then add your exponents. Okay, what's 3k squared times a positive 4k? A positive 12k cubed. What's 3k squared times a negative 3? A negative 9k squared. Make sure you're trying to answer me. Okay, now I need to distribute the second number with everything in the back set of parentheses. So here we go. How much is 3k times 2k squared? 6k cubed, and it is positive. How much is a positive 3k times a positive 4k? A positive 12k squared. Okay, what's 3k times a negative 3? A negative 9k. Okay, we've got one more thing to distribute. So now I need to distribute the negative 1 with everything in the back set of parentheses. Just be really careful with all your exponents when you're doing this. Okay, how much is negative 1 times 2k squared? A negative 2k squared. How much is negative 1 times a positive 4k? A negative 4k. And then how much is a negative 1 times a negative 3? A positive 3. Okay, at this point I want to start combining like terms. So, do I have any other k to the 4th besides this one? Nope, drop it on down. Now let's look for k cubes. Here's a k cubed, here's a k cubed. What do you get if you combine a 12k cubed plus 6k cubed? A positive 18k cubed. Okay, now let's look for k squareds. Here's a k squared, here's a k squared, here's a k, oops, wrong one. Here's the k squared, not this guy. Ignore him. So it's this one here, I'll circle this time. It's this one here, and it's this one right here. So I need to figure out what negative 9k squared is, plus 12k squared is, minus 2k squared is. And how much is that? A 1k squared, so I could just put plus k squared. I don't have to write the 1 in front. I can, but I don't have to. Okay, now let's combine the k's. Here's a k, sorry about that mistake earlier, and here's a k. What do you get if you combine a negative 9k and a negative 4k? A negative 13k. And then is there any other constant besides this positive 3? Nope. Drop it down. There it is. This problem totally deserves a smiley face. Give it to it. Double smileys. Okay, this next one. We've done several of these lately. This is getting to be very, very simple. I want to know an expression to describe the area of the brick wall, and we have this rectangular fish pond. It's surrounded by a brick wall. So basically I want to know the area of the shaded piece. So I'm going to find the area of all of it, and that's going to be too much area, and then I'm going to subtract the area of this inside part that I don't want, and that'll give me my answer. So let's start with the area of the total thing, and it's a rectangle, so it's length times width, so it's 3x plus 4 times x plus 4. So let's just go ahead and start with that. I have two things to distribute. Let's start with the 3x and distribute it with everything in the back set of parentheses. How much is 3x times x? 3x squared. How much is 3x times 4? 12x. Now we need to distribute the 4 with everything in the back set of parentheses. So how much is 4 times x? 4x. It is positive, so make sure you put the plus. And how much is 4 times 4? 16, and it is positive, so make sure you put the plus. All right, let's combine these like terms. So the 3x squared is going to drop down. What do you get if you combine 12x plus 4x? 16x. And then I just drop down the plus 16. Okay, so that's the area of this whole big rectangle, but that's too much area. So now I'm going to find the area of the small one, the white piece that isn't shaded at all. It's a rectangle, so it's length times width also. So it's x plus 1 times x. And I'm going to distribute this x with both things in the front set of parentheses. So x times x is x squared. X times 1 is 1x. And now all I have to do is subtract. So I'm going to take my total area, 3x squared plus 16x plus 16. And from that, I'm going to subtract the area of this small one, this white rectangle that didn't have any shaded. So that's the x squared plus x. Notice how I'm trying to subtract more than one thing? What do I need to do if I'm trying to subtract more than one thing? Slap those parentheses down. Okay. I'm going to distribute and work it out all at the same time. So what's a 3x squared and a minus x squared give us? A 2x squared. If I distribute this, what kind of x am I going to have back here? A negative x. What do you get if you combine a positive 16x and a negative x? A positive 15x. And then this little constant just drops on down, and that's the area of our shaded piece. That's all we want. Thank you so much.